Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Rachel Economy, and today I'm here to tell you a little bit about our Design Thinking for Change learning thread here in the Member Village. So design thinking refers to a large body of work that shows up in a lot of different industries, educational spaces, etc. And at its core, it's really about what a lot of people would call problem solving. Problem solving can have a little bit of an intellectual emphasis or connotation and a little bit of a rushed, let's fix it connotation. And for me, design thinking actually has a lot of let's notice it built in that isn't rushed, that isn't about always finding a solution. Design thinking really answers the question, how do I blank? Or how do we blank? It helps us get from a need or a desire to ideas, strategies, plans, and designs, implementation, and then prototyping, accepting feedback, and starting all over again. It can be used on a personal level. I apply it to personal things in my life all the time. It can be used on a household or neighborhood level, and it can be used at larger levels or wider levels. It can be used with humans, it can be used in ecosystems, and at its best, it is collaborative and participatory. It is sensitive to nuance and change, and that the core goal, rather than coming up with the perfect design and implementing it, is to have a strong capacity for the design process so that when needs change, when situations change, or when change is needed, the design thinking and design process can be applied to make those shifts or respond to those shifts. And so that's what we're going to try to do in this class. We're going to talk about the design principles and design process of design thinking that shows up in so many different worlds, from industrial design to ecological gardening to maker spaces where people are learning how to be creative or how to build things, to healthcare, all of these spaces where we have this question, how do we do this thing, or how do we meet this need? And so my hope for you, if you do join us, is that you feel more equipped to approach how do I questions, or how do we questions, or dilemmas like I'll never be able to, or we can't even with this new set of tools. That it will help you feel that creativity and change are not actually innate skills, but rather things that we can practice and build on, and that you'll be able to add it to your toolkit for things you can actually do in your communities, in your daily work, that help you feel more resilient in terms of creating change and responding to change. And then you can share it with those communities, you can use it in those spaces. And we'll talk more about a lot of the different implications at different global and local scales for design thinking. But at the heart of it is really that observing needs, coming up with strategies, and then collectively or in collaboration, figuring out how we're going to try to meet our needs and accepting feedback. So we'll go into all of those aspects and more. The hope is for this to be really accessible so that you could apply it to a lot of different things. You can watch or listen to the videos from anywhere. And that it also be really fun and maybe offer some structure for those who don't feel naturally comfortable with creativity, and also offer some structure for those who feel like creativity is so boundless that they're not sure how to apply it in more structured spaces, while at the same time holding it loosely and knowing that it's a core cycle that shows up in a lot of different places, and so we're not saying that it has to always be exactly the same or exactly one way. I'm excited to have you join us for this Design Thinking for Change course here in the Member Learning Village. I'll see you soon.